Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our lunch hour live. For those new to the channel, I am a full-time reseller. I buy and sell things, flip them online, eBay predominantly. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my full-time job. So if you're new to the channel, please drop a comment so we can say hello. There's no specific topic today. That's why I put in the title, what do you want to talk about? And you can put anything in the chat. We can talk about anything. Don't mind what it is. Within reason. I will veto certain things. Anyway, let us just have a look who we've got in today. Santa's in from all the way from the North Pole. I'm surprised you get good internet up there, Santa. Leanne, hi Leanne. What else have we got? We've got the Monkey Thrifter Peter. Blue Harvest Toys, hi. Is it Mark? I've got in my head Mark, but just let me know your name because I'm terrible with names. It's not my fault. It's a problem that I have. Darth Muzzer. That's a new name for sure. That is a new name. Very interesting YouTube name. Welcome to the show, and do let us know what's behind your YouTube name. I do like to know these things. Hi, Lisa. The Tap Peddler Derek is in as well. AMPR. Lee Graves, good afternoon. Good afternoon to everybody who's popped along so far. Fix It for Reselling. You've got some shit on your shirt. Oh dear. Who do you support? Come on. Who are you following? JJ, Jess, Chris, that Adidas jacket in your last video, what size is it? It was a small, but it's gone, Jess. I'm afraid it's sold. I sold it within, I don't know, 24 hours I've listed it. I think it went for 35 or 40 or something like that. So I'm sorry that you've missed out on that one. Chris Barnes. Nice cap. Same shame about the shirt. Oh, we're going to get lots of comments here now, aren't we? Hi, Catherine, sister-in-law over in Staley, Vegas. Welcome, Tea Cakes as well. Matt Hall. Matt from Western Supermare. You're not that far away, Matt. You're about, I don't know, hour and a half drive maybe from here. We have been to Western Supermare. We made a day out of it when like mid-COVID, but half everywhere was basically shut. So it was a bit pointless. Oh, it was a silly idea anyway. We just wanted to get out But when we were kind of like, you can go out, but you can't do much, that kind of situation. But yeah, we're gonna probably make a trip back there at some point. Oh, Mark. Yeah, I thought it was Mark, but call me anything, no problem. Okay, I'll try and remember Mark. Hi, Richard. Welcome to you and Helen as well, listening while watching. That's good. At least you're getting some work done. Tonks Boutique. Oh, you've changed your name. Tonks Boutique, Scottish/UK eBay resellers. That just about covers it, I think, doesn't it? Lisa's a Liverpool fan. Oh, well, you know, we all have our afflictions, I suppose. I'm not bothered who anybody supports, Lisa. I'm not one of these sort of bitter fans. Liverpool are a very good team. I've got a lot of respect for Liverpool. Your worst nightmare. YNWA. Not sure what that is. I'll have a think on it. I still love your channel. I appreciate it anyway. Listen, I don't care who anybody supports. JJ, shame my husband wanted it. Yeah, it was a small size. I think it was small. Yeah, it went very quick, that one. It's a numbers thing, Chris. 8,380 plus names are hard to remember. That is true. But not all those not all those people actually come and join us on a live stream. There's a hardcore of a few hundred that pop in and out of these streams. Hi, Richard. Don't forget, if you've got anything to chat about, any questions, or if I can't answer it, hopefully somebody in the chat will. Could be worse. Could be worse. It could be the other man. Oh yeah. Hey, Kieran, he's on holiday right now, somewhere in the Greek islands. Stepson. Thank you for the shirt, by the way. Father's Day present. He hasn't paid for it yet, but thanks anyway. Listening while listening. Oh, I've got an itchy nose again. Hi, Ali. Who else have we got? Claire. Hi, Chris. I've been wondering if buying on your eBay account counts as activity, as I've been naughty and not listed for a while. Just bought quite a lot and the sales are coming through. Actually, it's not something that I've really thought about, that, Claire, but possibly, maybe it helps. I really can't answer it. I wonder what everyone in the chat thinks, because that's not something that I've really thought about. I mean, I guess it's probably better than no activity, but yeah, maybe is all I can say. I don't think anyone will have a definitive answer to it, but if it's worked for you, maybe you need to buy some more stuff. That's a silly answer, I know. We're in the selling game. Space Invader, welcome to you. I'm not reading that one out, Chris. Blue Harvest Toys. Can anyone give me a lift to Bolton Toy Fair on Sunday? No trains. There you go. Anybody want to give Mark a lift to Bolton? Oh, I get it. Sorry, the penny just dropped. Oh dear. Sorry about that, Mark. Another one with an affliction of some kind. Tap Peddler Derek's got a question. How's your Yodel Hermes parcels going, Chris? I don't use Yodel. I've never, ever used Yodel. Don't ask me why, just never have. Hermes, where's the nearest bit of wood? Don't answer that. touch wood, Hermes, been okay. They emailed me twice. I opened 3 cases. Opened 3 cases about a month ago, about 5 weeks ago. And you know how they always take 28 days. They take the full 28 days to resolve a case, and then they take about a week to email you with the outcome. So I've got 2 refunds coming my way. One I'm not being refunded for because the buyer didn't let me know that the item hadn't arrived until after 28 days had passed. So if you don't inform Hermes or Every, if you don't inform Every that you want to claim on a parcel within 28 days of when it was sent, then you've got no claim. Just remember that. So one of them got thrown out. Luckily, it was less than a £10 item. So whatever. It's not the end of the world. But I've got 2 refunds coming my way. But don't use Yodel. I hear they're having some trouble at the minute. They've been barred or whatever. Fix it for reselling. Ended all promoted listings at midnight. Let's see what happens. Oh, let us know how it goes. Every time I end my promoted listings, my store just dies a death. It's like it can't survive without promoted. So I end up having to turn it back on again. Too busy in the sun. Well, as long as you have a good time, that's the main thing. Don't get too burnt. Hey, Chris, I'm an Aussie toy collector with a taste for anything Star Wars. Oh, you'll be in good company with Blue Harvest Toys, Mark, because he's a big Star Wars toy man. Muzzer is a play on my last name. Shout out to Blue Harvest for... Oh! Silly me. Well, thank you, Mark, for sending Darth Muzzer my way. That's good. Chop, chop, busy, busy. Oh, what a great question that is, Blue Harvest, Mark. I keep saying your name so that I don't forget. What was your favourite toy growing up? I think everyone in the chat can take part in this one. What was your favourite toy growing up? Crikey. What toy would you like from being a kid? Oh, wow. Wow. Favourite toy. I need to think about that one. I used to play with a lot of Technic Lego, although I was no good at building it. So I used to get my brother to build it because it was too hard to do. Because with Technic Lego, you had to follow the instructions, didn't you? Otherwise, you were bollocksed. Because it had gears and things in it. So I played with a lot of Technic Lego. I had He-Man figures. I had the Castle of Grayskull. In fact, the first film I ever saw at the cinema was Masters of the Universe, which I think was around 87, 88. So I was about 10 years old. Yeah, a lot of Technic Lego. I also had this truck that I remember. I had this truck and it had like the cab in the middle and it had multiple wheels on it. Does anyone remember this? It had like multiple wheels on it. So maybe about 6 wheels on each side or something like that. But what it used to do is it used to drive up and down the stairs. So it would go up and down the stairs. It was big. It was a fair size. It was like that. And I remember playing with that a lot. I don't know what brand or anything like that it was. I don't know if it was a brand thing. But I remember it. I remember that one. I'll have a think about the rest. What toy would you like from being a kid? Wow, it's a big question. Let's see what everyone else is. They're the toys that I remember most. What else? I never had a Game Boy. I never had a Game Boy. I did have a Master System. So that was amazing when the Master System came out, wasn't it? Yeah, I played a lot of Alex Kidd. In fact, I completed Alex Kidd. It's probably the only game I've ever completed in my life. Yeah, those were good. I think buying does help. Yeah, I guess so, but not too much. Not when you're not listing much. Tea cakes. Not when you're not listing much. Guaz123, welcome. Laura, hi to you. Good afternoon. Buying helps your feedback score. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, helps your feedback. So it's something, isn't it? When is your Fleek experience video due out? It's actually with Fleek at the moment. They are. Oh, I've got another fly in. I've actually sent my draft video to them to have a look at. Rumor has it Yodel had a cyber attack recently, lost all their tracking systems. Parcel to go removing them from the panel and looking at Twitter, InPost are getting lots of complaints. I never use InPost either. I just don't trust the whole thing. Lisa says, I'm new to eBay, but I have limits. I can only list 10 and sell value of £750. I sell clothes like t-shirts, hoodies, etc. What is the best way of getting my selling limits up fast? I have 150 I want to list. Well, max out your limits. Get your feedback score up and contact eBay. Go on the eBay chat and ask them. Just ask them. Say, can you raise my limits? And normally they will raise them for you. I did that a few times in the early days when I first had my business account. Another fly. So yeah, you get on the chat and ask them to raise it. A lot of the time, they'll have a look at your account, they'll see that you're maxed out, and they'll raise it. That's what I would do. eBay traffic to my stores dropped right off since the start of this month. I've thought about this, and I have some items with 1% promoted. I've not changed this with the new 2%. This is common, Richard, in regards traffic, especially if you look at the start of this month. We will all see on our traffic that at the start of June, you will see a big dip in external traffic and views. And that is because eBay changed the way they count views to exclude the bot views from external traffic. So all of us will see the same thing. I have it on mine. It's not really affected my sales, but it's on my views that they're from the 1st of June, big drop in external views. Fletch 1, afternoon. Too late, Kieran says, burnt already. Fix It says, was reading that Yodel had a cyber attack. AMPR said, I wanted a big track and a dark tower. What's dark tower? Cindy Dolls. Lisa said, I used to have this Ghostbusters trap I used to like playing with. Blue Harvest says, I've got 2 big tracks, unfortunately don't work properly. Mine was a talking Bugs Bunny. Nice one. Magic Bullet. What the heck is that? No idea what that is. Spirograph. That's very arty-farty. Morning, Kevin. Just sold a job lot of He-Man. Nice one. They always sell well, don't they? It's not a big track that I'm talking about, Derek. It's not a big track. It was like almost like a monster truck thing, but it used to drive up and down the stairs. I don't know. It might have just been a cheap makey thing. I don't know. I don't remember a lot about it. I remember it got broken. We went on holiday with Mum and Dad, and my sister stayed home, had a big party, and broke it. She was quite old, by the way. She weren't like a kid that we left at home. She was an adult. I used to build Connects. Mega Drive, yeah, Mega Drive. I remember I had a paper round when Mega Drives came out, and my dad used to do, like K's and Grattan and those catalogs where you pay weekly for stuff. Well, my dad used to do one of them catalogs, and all the family and that would buy stuff from the catalog, and then he'd issue a card like £200, and then every week you'd pay him like 50p, and he'd knock it off the card, and he'd pay the company, pay back the company, and maybe he earned a little bit of commission on it. I don't know. But I remember I had a paper round at the time Mega Drives came out, and I bought a Mega Drive off my dad's catalogue. Obviously cost a fortune because it was much more expensive to buy from the catalogues because you were buying it on the drip than it is just to go into Toys R Us and buy it. Yeah, that's what happened. I bought a Mega Drive on it. I loved the Mega Drive. I think the Mega Drive was possibly the best console of that kind of era until PlayStation 1 came along. I used to be a big train fanatic, built a really big one around my bedroom, and still have got some of the trains 45 years on. Wow. Still got my Mega Drive, Mark says. I love Sonic, yeah. Guaz says, with so many people doing car boots, charity shops, etc., it can't be easy anymore selling items. It's challenging as always, but people drop in and out of reselling very, very easily and very, very quickly. There's a lot of part-timers who do it just for a little bit of extra money. It's not easy, but you just have to be flexible, I think. So you got to be able to move with the times a little bit. You can't just stay too narrow-minded on how you sell and what you sell. I think you've got to really be willing to change your mindset on a regular basis. That's probably the difficult thing. Left-handed is just having an oat chai latte in a very sunny South Molton. Oh, you're not far away. Not far away at all, really. Enjoy, like a good chai latte. Mr. Diggs is in. Anthony as well. Yeah, Derek says phone, eBay, or live chat, they will increase it. Yeah, exactly that. Oh, they said no this morning. Maybe you're too new in. Maybe you've just got to keep plodding along for a bit longer. It depends, I guess, how long you've had your account or when the last increase was, if you've had one already. Mind you, it don't sound like you've had an increase because you're on pretty low numbers. Yeah, you've got to, that's what I was saying, Derek. You've got to fill up what you've got, otherwise they won't increase it. Yeah, the old Atari Woody, that was a cracking system. Well, it's shit now, isn't it, when you play it, but it was a good system for its time. Probably one of my favourite things when I was a kid was my BMX. I'm just thinking now, I've been thinking about that question. It's got me thinking about it. But yeah, I had a yellow and red BMX, with the plastic wheels and everything. Proper BMX. I had that, and I used to use that every day. Didn't do a lot in the house, really. I didn't do a lot of playing with toys that much, from what I remember. We were playing out a lot, go out with mates on the bikes and stay out all day on bikes. Matt sells stuff. Welcome. Anyone got any other questions or discussion points? We'll talk about it. Atari 2600, that's the one we had. My brother had that, actually. It was his console. Got played to death. Monkey Thrifter, my first job was at Grattan. GameCube was elite. GameCube was good. GameCube now, games are very sought after. Got a proper itchy nose. If you find GameCube games, I very rarely see them out in the wild these days. Didn't have as many games on the GameCube, did they, as most other consoles? It didn't like go big like PlayStation. Bit like Dreamcast as well. Dreamcast games very hard to find out in the boots and charity shops, almost non-existent. I'd love it to be my full-time job. Been selling on Depop and Vinted, now trying to do eBay. Hopefully can make more sales. I'm sure once you get up and running properly on eBay, your sales are going to go through the roof. If you've been focused on Depop and Vinted, eBay just gives you a much wider audience. You will pay for it, mind. You pay for it, but that is the cost of doing business. Yeah, if you've only been open 2 days, then yeah, you've got to give it a bit more time. But you've got to max out those thingamajigs, listings and values. Try and max them out. Annabelle, hey handsome. Who is this Annabelle? And who's she talking to in the chat here? Who is she? Best thing to do when reselling is stick to one subject and research. So when you're in the charity shops, you know what sells. Everyone's different, Mark. I think a lot of people stick to one niche, or you can also be a seller of everything, which I am currently. I have talked recently about potentially niching down. If I did niche down, I would niche into clothing. And I'm still thinking about that at the minute. Still thinking about whether that is something I should do. But yeah, if you do niche down, it's got to be a niche that's big enough for you to find stuff in. Anthony says, what's your opinion on all the newish resellers giving out tips and advice and cooking waffles? What? When they are clearly on the dole and don't know how much. Listen, well, allegedly I give out tips. Whether anyone takes them or not is another thing. Listen, everyone's entitled to give out tips. I ain't got a problem with that. I mean, I can't criticize anybody when I do it myself. And I talk about reselling. I tell people what to look out for. I show things that I've purchased. I show what things are worth. I show sales, bolos and all that stuff. So just because I've maybe been doing it a bit longer than whoever the people are that you're talking about, that doesn't make it much different. At the end of the day, if you are watching somebody and you're not keen on their content, it's really easy. Just don't watch them. There's loads of people that have probably turned me off, because they don't like the content. That's just the way it goes. If you don't like what's on telly, you turn over the channel, don't you? That's the thing. Belle's watching Love Island at the minute, like every fucking night. We only get Saturday night off, right? We're watching. I'm not watching it. I'm trying to stay out of it. I'm not getting into it. But if that Love Island came on while I was sat watching telly, I'd turn it over because it ain't my thing. So if you're watching somebody or you catch a glimpse of somebody doing content about reselling and it ain't your thing, just come and watch me. And then realize it ain't your thing either and go and watch someone else. My mate had a TCR and never let me play with it. God, I wanted one so bad. Tell me what TCR is. I'm being dumb. I'm trying to figure it out. I'll probably know. Wet Beaver, welcome. It's always a good name, that is. I love saying it. Wet Beaver. Chris says, what prompted me into becoming a reseller, apart from losing my job through ill health, was seeing how many people were being successful at it, despite a few being a sandwich short of a picnic. As long as you're doing okay yourself, as long as you can crack on, without everybody else, because who knows how long we're going to be on YouTube for? What if YouTube disappeared? What if all this social media stuff ended tomorrow? Could you carry on? Of course you can. You got to be able to hold your own, I think. There's only so much you can take from videos. You got to be able to do it yourself. Yeah, the discs, little tiny little baby discs. My first console was Pong. Was that like a little plasticky thing? A bit, like an early Atari, but just like one game. Kind of remember something like that. I'm happy to make a bit less per item if it gets me more sales, as that means I'll be making more in the long run. That's a very good attitude to have, Lisa. Even though you're early doors, don't get attached to items. Here's some tips for you. And we talked about it Monday night. Don't get attached to items. Don't get attached to what you paid for them. Make the sale. Yeah. Take the money and use it to buy your next item and move on. Get that money in. I found a box of vintage Star Wars weapons in a box of plastic soldiers this week. $3.99 for £150 worth of blasters. Nice one. That's a nice little find, isn't it? Always take a punt, think outside the box. Yeah, I'm always happy to try something new, buy something I've never bought before. I can't stand these YouTubers who talk about reselling, but really they just want to do duck races all day. Who's that? Who's that, Derek? That's ridiculous. Only proper reselling content on this channel. I've been quite successful at selling china and ornaments, with lots going to freight forwarders for export. I've just turned on GSP as the prices on these items is way higher abroad than here. Yes, absolutely. There is zero reason. There is absolutely no reason in this world that you should not have GSP turned on unless you do your own international shipping. If you do your own international shipping, that's fine. But if you're worried about shipping international, or you've never shipped international before, just turn GSP on. It's a piece of cake. It's the same as shipping to the UK. There's lots of protection from eBay, and it will boost your sales. I think probably at the minute about 1 in 10 items that I sell goes GSP. It could even be 2 in 10. So it's somewhere between 10 and 20% get sold via GSP and go abroad. Not Love Island. No. Hate it. Yes, very, very good podcast, that, Wet Beaver. I'm glad you went to have a listen to that. Makes you think, doesn't it? Poor from mother, yeah, absolutely. No, I do not like it. My condolences that Love Island made it into your house. Total Control Racing. I don't know what that is, actually, T-Cakes. TCR. I don't know what that is. Hi, Rosie. TCR, you could change lanes. I don't remember that one. Don't know. Oh, Santa says Love Island, is that a reality show? Yes, it is. Basically, a load of these absolute buffoons get put into like a big house, a mansion on some tropical island or something, and they're all supposed to like couple up and they do little challenges and stuff. Not that I know anything about it, Santa, because I don't watch it. But it's absolutely ridiculous. It's the most cringy crap you can ever see on telly. They have to couple up and then they split up and then they get kicked out. And then there's one couple left at the end who are crowned the winners of Love Island. It's cringe. It's a cringe fest. Like Sky Electrics, but you can make the car swap lanes. Oh, okay. Wet Beaver and Bumcrack. Yes, Laura. Yeah. Where is Bumcrack when we need him? We need the two, don't we, in the show at one time? I'm way behind the chat. I'm going to try and catch up a bit. If anyone got any questions or discussion points? The Dave's here as well. Hi, the Dave. I think Ricky Resales is in as well. I think I missed a comment, but welcome to Ricky. Any business or money-making idea that takes a small startup cost and has easy accessibility will have a certain level of challenge in competing with many other operators hoping to succeed. Very well put paragraph, that, Nigel. My first console was Ping Black and White. Oh, okay. Lisa's watched the Mel's podcast as well, which was very good. I can remember playing Manic Miner on Spectrum, very addictive. I never had a Spectrum. That's one console that I never had, or computer. T-Cake says, my controversial tip is don't get involved with the race to the bottom. Very, very good tip. Yeah. When I price something, I tend to just leave it, and I don't constantly check what the competition is priced at. It might be a different scenario if I was selling something that was highly competitive. I might have to keep an eye on the competition, but at the moment I don't, because if I do a comps check, completed and solds on eBay before I list something, and there's someone with something with the item for £10 that's sold, someone sold one for £20. I'm more than happy to stick my item up at £20. But even if there's somebody with one listed for 10, I might still put it up for 20, because that one listed for 10 ain't going to be there forever. Someone's going to buy it. So that could mean that mine is the only one left at 20. And if it hasn't sold after 3 or 4 months, I'll reduce it to 15 or 10. So I tend not to do that race to the bottom thing, try and be the lowest price constantly. But I guess if I was selling phone cases or charger leads, of which you see millions on eBay, maybe you'd have to be quite close to the bottom price. Cool Spot on the Mega Drive. That was a classic, wasn't it? Chop Chop says, do your own thing in reselling. Don't copy anyone. Hi, Z. Welcome. GT Pre-Loved, welcome to you. +1 for using GSP. Brilliant service. Just think carefully about whether to add Germany to the excluded destination list because of their new packaging laws. I heard about that, GT. What's that all about? But surely it's down to eBay anyway, isn't it? If you turn GSP on, once your package has left the UK, it's up to eBay to get it delivered. If it doesn't arrive, it gets stopped, lost, stolen, broken. You are covered. So I guess if eBay aren't doing the packaging correctly, if there's a packaging issue to Germany, I don't know. If eBay aren't packaging it right, ain't your problem. Isn't there a website you can play all the specky games? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know of it, but maybe there is. Let me see what else everyone is chatting about. Yeah, something like that. It's ridiculous. Single people can. It's not always the single person that gets kicked off, but I'm going to leave it there because I know nothing about Love Island. Oh, Nathan says got a tiki mug today. Pay £2. Oh, Nathan, you need to put it on Instagram, please. We need to share it on Instagram. Let me just put a thing on. Whoopsie daisy. Put it on Instagram, and in the description, use the hashtag UK Tiki Treasure, Nathan, because that way we can see it and share it for everybody. And we're keeping a little page of everyone's tiki finds. Get it on Instagram. Well done for finding one. I do watch I'm a Celebrity. I do love that program. There's Ricky. I thought I saw him. Mr. Diggs, I'm having to change my mindset with things as I always have hated change. Always like to know what I'm doing and how long it would take me, and I feel now change is needed with my eBay. Fair enough. Yeah. Unfortunately, Mr. Diggs, you've got to be able to roll with whatever the wind, whichever way the wind is blowing with anything reselling. If you stay stuck too much, ain't going to happen. That's understanding how platforms work, how to best sell on them, what items to sell, all that kind of stuff. You got to move. You can't be stagnant. During the war. Hi, Joel. That new name, possibly? Welcome anyway, Joel. Joel Mibara. Am I saying that right? Brother had a Commodore 64. What a load of crap. It was probably very good at the time, Laura. Oh, here we go. JJ Jess says, I sell phone cases and charger leads. Don't need to be the lowest price. Just need a good listing. Fair enough. I don't sell it, but I was just imagining like what's it like to sell something that's highly competitive on eBay. But there you go. Straight from, if you mind the phrase, the horse's mouth. I'm not calling you a horse by any means of the stretch of the imagination. I'm not. Remember the BBC? Yeah, we had them in our primary school. The black ones with like the red and green buttons in the corners or something. How do you turn on GSP? Just go to your it'll be in your settings somewhere. It's been a while since I actually turned it on. It's always on. When you list something on your postage, it will give you an option for GSP, but you might have had to have turned that on in the background on your eBay settings first. Chris says, regarding prices, I keep a list of every item I buy within 24 hours of buying it, and I check comps and record a proposed listing value too. I check again when I list and leave it until it renews. Yeah, that's fair enough. Not dissimilar to what I do. Kieran's off in a pool. See you in a bit. Enjoy. Chop says, that's why I don't do YouTube. If you copied me, you would end up starring on Don't Pay, We'll Take It Away. Fair enough. The Germany topic is much debated on the various forums. Seems the liability is with the original sender and hence not eBay. Worth a Google to decide. I've sent a few things to Germany of late. I remember seeing a few. I've not had a problem. I'll just carry on until there's a thing. You'd think eBay would bust out a message, wouldn't you, and let us know about this if it was an issue. There's an element of FOMO. If it sells in a day or two, I worry that I've gone in too low, so I tend to start a bit high and wait offers. Yeah, it's a perfectly reasonable way to go about it. Mike, hello from a baking Manchester. Welcome, Mike. And Francis. I'm almost at the bottom of the chat here, actually. Oh, it is highly competitive. However, most sellers use stock photos. Easiest way to get your listing going is to not use stock photos. I never use stock photos for anything, but I can understand where you're coming from with that one, especially with things like phone cases and charger leads and stuff. You're not going to stand out at all, are you, using stock photos? Because there's a million people using stock photos, isn't there? Tat Doctor, I was asked to go on Love Island this year. They wanted me to be the island. That's very harsh. Pat Butcher official. Wow. Pat Butcher is in the house, everybody. Afternoon, Chris and chat. Hope sales are going good. Good afternoon to you and welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Wet Beaver says, I was in a charity shop yesterday and there was a reseller in there. She was smashing through the rails, got tons of gear. Was it any good? Mr. Diggs says, I'm in the process of starting my own weekend yard sales depending on the weather, see how things go. It's worth a try, why not? Clear out some old stock. Tap Peddler says, yeah, eBay will repack a German item if it isn't applicable. It's good to know. Yeah, eBay do not like stock photos at all. Correct. Never, I don't think I've ever used a stock photo. Even when I'm selling like computer games, sometimes you get presented with a stock photo, don't you, when you scan the UPC or whatever. But I always replace that with my own photos. The real Pat Butcher lives in Exmouth. Oh, not that far from here. It looks all right. Women's clothing, 75 quid spent. Probably got at least 2 items for that, Wet Beaver, for £75 in a charity shop. Got to keep an eye on the time because Cookie's in the hairdressers at the minute. So I do have to go and get her in a bit, but we'll get her our hour out of the way first. She's having her haircut today. I felt really bad. I don't know if Annabelle is watching, but I felt bad because when I dropped Cookie off at the hairdressers, the lady said she was a bit behind because there was this big furry dog in there being done. So she was a bit behind. So she was like, will Cookie be all right in the cage for a little while? And I'm like, we can try. But Cookie was cage trained, so she's not like, not used to being in a cage. But I'm not sure whether she didn't bark the place down as soon as I left. But I kind of felt bad leaving her in the cage. So the lady gave her some biscuits while I sort of snuck out the door. Hopefully she wasn't in there too long. Nigel says, unless you are a big boy like Music Magpie, then they can use 100% stock images. Yeah, I guess so. They definitely don't have the time to take their own photos. Bloody millions of listings. Well, they do go to the bottom first. That they do. They literally sell things for pence sometimes because they have software that will analyze what the prices are, and they always try and be the lowest price. Both eBay and Amazon. Sounds like people are greedy when it comes to prices. Thought the idea was to flip things for a profit. Yes, it is the idea. Sometimes I think some people can be a bit greedy with prices. But I guess you list something at what you think it's worth. And then if somebody makes you an offer, then it's up to you to decide whether, depending on how much you paid for an item, how long you've had it, whether it's worth taking that offer. I always think bird in the hand. It's much better to take the offer, take the money, depending what it is, of course. Get that money back and use it to buy more stock. In theory, put it in the bank, pay your wage at the end of the month. You're in the doghouse. Post a pic of cookie after. I might do, yeah, okay. I'll post a pic of cookie afterwards on Instagram. We'll go on Facebook as well because the two things are linked. If you're wondering where all my socials are, you need to wonder no more, because if you want to go and have a look, it's that hand. If you want to have a look at my eBay, go there. That's my eBay name. There's a link in the description that you can use to visit my eBay. If you want to have a look at my Facebook or Instagram, you can just search Car Boot Chris and you'll find it. If you go to carbootchris.com, there is every single link that I have to anything pretty much is on there, carbootchris.com. And if you want to go have a look at my Twitter, it's Feed the Goat. I've had that Twitter for years. You can search Feed the Goat, or you can just look for Car Boot Chris again, and you'll find it. Tat Doctor says, question, following Mel's recent video on niching down, I was thinking, rather than choosing one item type, e.g. books, as long as your photo storage and shipping process are the same, then have I missed something there? The thing is, right, if you just do books like Mel does, you can have a process of doing books. So maybe she scans the thing and then fills in the information, takes a series of photos and lists the item very, very quickly. So you can get your processes down to a T. But if you list books, clothing, let me go through some of the stuff that I've listed this morning. So trainers, boots, Christmas decorations, roller boots, plush toys, wrestling figures. If you list like that, it's really hard to get a process going, because like when you're photographing, you need to move all your photos into a different way. Some of your listing might be worded differently, so you might have to copy and paste a different template or use a different template. So I think it's very hard to get your processes down to a T unless you niche down to like what Mel does, which is books, or if you niche down to clothing. Even clothing can have differences in it, but yeah, it's just personal preference, really, I think. Derek says eBay will always repack anything they think they need to. German, no exception. I sent a hi-fi there in a huge box the other day, no problems. Yeah, I've had pictures sent to me from people who have ordered by GSP, and it's been repacked because I know that I didn't use that packaging. So sometimes they repack it, sometimes they don't. James, welcome. I'm not even going to attempt that last name, but welcome to the channel. Been wanting to resell for a while now. Every video I watch of yours motivates me more. That's good to hear. That's really good to hear. Good luck with it. Keep us informed how you're getting on. Keep popping into the live chats. That's always a good way. GT says, I had a couple of listings removed by eBay. When I called customer service to ask why, I was told it was because I had only used stock photos on those items. Oh, maybe it's category dependent. I think things like books and computer games, a lot of people do use stock photos. Maybe if it's clothing, it's not a good idea to use stock photos, because a lot of the time, stock clothing photos belong to somebody else normally. So maybe that's the issue. James says, have you been to Newton Abbot Racecourse car boot? It's usually a very good boot sale. I have in the past, but it's not on. It's not on anymore, James. It is finished for the time being. It stopped running when COVID kicked in, and it's never started up again. So we've not had that boot sale for over 2 years. It'd be nice to see it come back, but I believe the organisers have said at the moment there's no plans for it to come back. Derek says, I prefer not to niche. If one item isn't selling, something else will be. I think there's pros and cons to everything. I think when you niche down, it can benefit your store, like people multi-buying different items, people checking your store out for other similar stuff. And also, like, if you become very good in your niche, then potentially, eBay will maybe, give you higher rankings in that category. So yeah, there's pros and cons to both sides of it. I can see both sides. Fletch One says, took your advice, put most of my listings on offers. Just got one offer so far, but I only have about 200 listings. Yeah, just keep it on. Keep it on and see how it goes, Fletch One. Remember though, when you get those offers coming in, just have a careful think about. Don't immediately think that offer's terrible, how cheeky and all this stuff. Just think about, what did you pay for it, and how long have you had it, and do you need to flip it and put the money into something else? Sometimes a bird in the hand. I was thinking of branching into DVDs and video games. Video games I find very difficult. I don't see much decent video games out in the wild anymore. They all get snaffled up. DVDs, there's not much money in DVDs unless they are like decent ones or box sets. The only thing that is good with these kind of things is if you're going to go volume on it. So if you're gonna do DVDs and you just whack them out at a couple of quid each, but you're going to sell thousands of them, then that's different. That can be worth it. But I do buy DVDs, I do buy video games, I buy Blu-rays, but I'm picky about what I pick up. James collects latest video shows an example of bad packing on something that he received. Yeah. I always find everything that things that I buy on Vinted generally are really badly packed. You used a kitchen towel rather than bubble wrap. Bloody hell. Hi, Steve. Welcome. Hope you're all right, mate. Here's eBay's notice regarding Germany. Seems they are going to auto add the exclusion for you now. Fair enough. I'm not bothered. Whatever they want to do, they can do it. I'm not worried about it. Newton Abbot was good. Yeah, before we moved here, when we kind of came down here, I think we went once to Newton Abbot car boot, and it were good. It's a shame it's not back on. JJ's semi-niche down works very well for them. Andy says, I only ever use stock photos if the item I'm selling is new and sealed. Even then, I tend to use my own photos most of the time. I never use stock photos, Andy. Even in that situation, I always take my own photographs. It's much better as well. If someone tries to claim a problem, At least you've used your own photos and you can say, oh, that is the item. It's not a stock photo. Lindsay and Alvin. Hi, Chris and chat. We're a bit late. Don't worry. Yeah, we're coming up to the end. I'm going to have to end it fairly promptly because I will have to go get a cookie from the hairdressers shortly. Steve says, I promoted a listing suggested percentage as advised on Monday and it sold today. Da-na! Where's that clip from the Crudes? Da-na! I need to download that. Well, that's good. I'm glad you made the sale, Steve. Nigel says, I hate selling video games and stopped due to a high level of not received claims and return requests. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain. I struggle with it because I've stopped selling stuff, sending stuff large letter now because of this. Stop it. But that means that my listing is less attractive because I put like £3 odd on the postage. So a lot of people send me offers on games and DVDs and stuff because obviously they're trying to build in the price of what I'm charging for postage, which is fine. But I just want everything tracked. Stock photos don't help my sales. No, I wouldn't have thought it would, to be honest. Andy says DVDs can be good if you get the right ones. Correct, yes. There are certain trends to look for. I can often find DVDs for £1 or less that you sell for around the £10 mark. You need to do your research. Yeah, totally. Can we have a Facebook pic when Cookie is back? Yeah, sure. Laura asked the same question. Yeah, I don't think people were that interested, but I will put a picture on of Cookie with a new haircut. Yes, I'm looking forward to it because she was getting a bit too hairy and she's getting very warm in this weather as well. So hopefully, hopefully she will be nice and trim so she don't get too hot. Well, we're pretty much done, guys, for our lunch hour live today. Managed to make my drink last the whole time. Oh, I've had a text from the groomer. Hi, Chris. Cookie will be ready at 1:30 p.m. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. That's all right then. Gwaz says, I work for Royal Mail and it's crazy with the items we have to return to sender. I can believe it. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. We send video games, etc., second class signed for to stop people trying to claim they didn't receive. We get everything we send signed for. Fair enough. Yeah, I like to send everything with some level of tracking on it. At the moment, I use Hermes or Every. I need to stop saying Hermes. It's Every now. But I send most things Every, unless it's Highlands and Islands, which go Royal Mail because Every charge you extra to send to those places. So Northern Ireland, Highlands, and some of the islands, the UK islands. So yeah, they go Royal Mail. I don't send any unsigned for. Yeah, you do right not to do that. If you put a pic of Cookie on Facebook, can you make sure it's not a stock photo? Yes, I'm sure I can manage that, Peter. Good job. Yeah, very good job. Cookie's got that. I didn't get that message. Definitely. Quick City question. What do you think to Jesus and Sterling possibly going? I'm not surprised with Jesus. I'm not surprised. But I do like Jesus. So if he ends up staying, I'll be happy. But I would really love Sterling to stay because I love Sterling. I always love him from the day he's joined us. I've got some shirts with Sterling on the back. I absolutely love Sterling. Yes, he misses some opportunities, but I think he's one of our best players, genuinely. And I'll be gutted to see Sterling go, especially if he ends up at another Premier League club. Be very disappointed with that. I'd love to see Sterling stay with us for another couple of years at least. Get the prime out of him before we let him go. Actually, I think Sterling might stay. Still, I still think we might see him stay. I think we just need to offer him a decent contract and he'll stay. Imagine having Sterling playing up with Haaland. I mean, he'll be pinging the ball into him all day long. It's going to be great. But I just love Sterling to stay. I don't blame Jesus for going totally, but I do like him though. Do like him. He's been brilliant for us. Most of my stuff goes second class small parcel for $2.85 up to 2 kilo. And make sure I write, please ensure this parcel is scanned on delivery. 95% of the time they show is delivered on eBay. Yeah. I just prefer having something tracked. It just stops that item not received thing. Tat Doctor says, I'd like Jesus to stay. I'd like both of them to stay, really, but there's only so big a squad size you can have. And I'd also like to see a couple of the like Cole Palmer and James McAtee and that. I'd like to see them coming into the team a bit more this season. So there's only so many you can keep. I had 3 items not scanned, but I went to Royal Mail to chase them and they could track them to the delivery depot. However, all 3 customers confirmed delivery via a message or positive feedback. Fair enough. I'm not a fan of Sterling when he plays for England. City should do well with Haaland next season, hopefully. Well rid of Sterling. I love Sterling. Love him. You know what? Whenever we play without Sterling, it's never quite the same because he puts so much effort. He tries. Yes, he misses, but yeah, you got to be there in order to miss. And there you go. Football. Sorry about that. We are pretty much done. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Really appreciate it. And there may be a fleet video out soon. I'm hoping so. I've sent a video to them for them to have a look at. Also, there's a new car boot sale video on Saturday, and we'll be live again Monday night. You know what I forgot to do on Monday? I forgot to have a mystery box up for auction. So I'm going to put together a mystery box, if I can remember, for Monday night for auction. See if anybody's interested. And that is pretty much it for today. So thank you all. As I said, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed today's stream, and subscribe if you feel like it. That would be good. We are almost done. Oh, but I will just leave with this, and this is for all the Liverpool fans or the non-City fans in the chat. Here we go. Don't unsubscribe. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Seriously, no. I'm not really. Champions.